Hey guys, I am on my way to the airport to fly out to Perry today. Yesterday I kind of unplugged a little bit, got home from the CNFR late Sunday night, woke up sick. Murphy was sick. She has an inner and outer ear infection, so we took her to the doctor. So it was just kind of a rebuild, repack day yesterday, but I wanted to just address Wesley's post that I saw on Facebook about the goats at the junior high finals and what needs to happen to fix that. So that really isn't a stock contractor issue, and I'm going to tell you why. For the junior high and high school rodeo for finals, that bid is for half enough goats. That's what's in the rules, half enough goats. So if you think about that, 100 goats for the boys, 100 goats for the girls, plus goat roping, jackpot goats, practice goats, you're looking at 300-ish head of goats, okay? That's a lot of goats. But if you wanted to break in, if you wanted to sort through and get 100 great goats for the girls and 100 great goats for the guys, and you buy 300 head, let's just say that those cost $100 a piece. And I know you can look at those goats and know those goats probably cost closer to $200 a piece. But just for the ease of math, let's just go with $100 a piece. 300 head at $100 a piece is $30,000, okay? $30,000 that you have to drop on goats for this week, all right? So let's say you really want to have this great pen of goats. I know that for 10 goats, if I'm going to take those to a college rodeo, I'm going to spend a month on those goats, okay? I cannot fathom, like I can't wrap my head around, number one, owning 300 head of goats, much less taking care of, trying to break in, feed, water, whatever, 300 head for the month before it would take you to try to break these goats in, okay? So the logistics of being the stock contractor for the junior high finals are unbelievable. That's before you count. So you're 30 grand into it before you've paid your help, before you've fed a goat, before you've bought medicine for a goat, before you've hauled and shipped those goats. So I would say, I would say you're easy by the time you pay your expenses for the week or whatever. I'm going to call it $50,000, okay? If you wanted to really do it right, it would cost you about $50,000. So yes, you get some money back when you sell those goats, but if you're selling them afterwards, you're probably losing a little money on your goats because they've stood down there in the heat, they're probably sick, and you can't doctor them if you're sending them to the sale. So they're going to lose money on those goats, not counting the ones that die or whatever. And the longer you keep them, the more goats are going to die, okay? So the issue here and how it's fixed is Jim Boy Hash and some other people put forth a rule proposal to the board at the midwinter meeting to try to reduce the number of goats required for the junior high finals to a third, okay? Having a third of the goats rather than a half of the goats would really help contractors be able to sort through their pens and bring better goats, okay? It would be significantly less expensive. You would need less help. You would need less feed, like all of the things, okay? And in order for this to happen, you have to talk to your directors. Now, there are some directors that when asked if goats should be tied before the finals will tell you no. I was told at the Texas board meeting 2 years ago when I said we need to break the goats in before the junior high finals because it's really not fair. I was given a litany of reasons why we shouldn't do that. And that included that it not being fair, that someone might have notes on a goat, which I don't think notes on a goat matter. If all your goats are good, who cares? Like, who cares? Also, there were notes on every calf that run through there, because the calves don't come there fresh. They've been run at roping, so I didn't understand that. And another thing that was said was that, well, our Texas girls are doing fine at nationals, so I think we're just going to keep doing it the way we've been doing it. So yeah, that was another reason. Like I said, I went to battle for these kids and stood up for these kids, and didn't get a lot of backing from other people on the board. They kind of thought that it wasn't something that needed to be done. I'm glad to see that. I've heard that the goats are being tied some before the finals now, so that's good. I think there are some issues with the Texas State Finals goats and how they're drawn and broken in, chosen, all of those things. Again, what's going on is not a contractor issue, okay? The contractor's hands sometimes are tied on what they are allowed to bring, plain and simple. So, like I said, there is a fix to it, and it involves contacting your national director. And don't just talk to him at nationals, and don't be rude. That's never gonna, it's not gonna work. Just talk to him, tell him you heard there was a rule, you think it's a great idea, and you hope that they'll support it, because it is a great idea. That is truly the only way that you're gonna see goats at the finals, like what you say. Now, I'm fortunate to get to see people from all over the country, and there are people who come to nationals and think these are the best goats they tie all year, and that's a true story. Because people are tying much bigger goats. They're tying goats with cell barn tags straight off of them that have never even been touched. It gets really sad what some of the girls in the rest of the country have to tie. So I think a lot of it is, perspective. And man, another issue, I didn't get to see the first two performances. I got to watch last night some, but a lot of what I see here are junior high girls that don't have a lot of experience. Yes, the goats are a little bigger, but they're well within the weight requirements. They're boar goats, their legs are a little bigger. I see a lot of junior high girls that just don't have a lot of experience, that are there and are making some mistakes that are causing these goats to look a little worse than what they are. No, there are some in there that I definitely wouldn't want to draw. But when you have to bring 100 some odd head of goats, that's going to happen. Like, I'll give you an example. We only had to have 20 head of goats at the college finals. There was one goat in there. When we tied him and broke him in, he was my favorite goat. He was phenomenal. Like, he was so good. Fluffy. A lot of you might have seen him. We called him Fluffy. Anyway, he went left every time. He was so perfect. Great goat. First round, left, perfect. Hayden Thompson had him in the first round, and she was 5'9" on him. Phenomenal. Come back in the second round, Kristen draws him. She's first up on him. So we're expecting like him to go left. This goat hangs straight back and lays down. Okay? She has to really get it. She got off early, had to slow down, really get him up, and she six flat on him. Okay? No, it wasn't a bad run, but she had been practicing a lot on just slowing down, making good runs on goats like that. Okay? After that, he starts kind of quartering to the right, and then wants to eventually, in the short round, he was the goat that went right and then back a little bit with Avery Ledesma. Now, we had a plan for him by then, but nothing happened to that goat to make him want to run right. At the end of the day, they are animals, and you can't touch them during the deal. It's not like you can go fix them. Like, you tie these goats, let's say the week before. We broke them in on Friday morning. They didn't get touched again until Monday morning. Okay? You can't go in by Monday morning and this goat doesn't tie well. You can't go in and change that. And so these goats that are coming to nationals, I know Jordan happens to be right there since Gillette is there. So she's right there. Her goats don't have to haul as far. These goats came from Wisconsin. So they were probably tied. The last time they were probably tied, I would imagine, was at least 5 days before the first performance. And that's just a logistics deal. So honestly, nothing really can be done about that, because they don't want them touched, I don't think, once they get there. So like I said, this is not a contractor issue, because I can tell you, I have talked to the PARs. They're fantastic people. They try really hard, and they want the kids to have a great experience. And I'll tell you this, their kids and their friends' kids are entered up there. So they're not trying to do anything against these kids, okay? And their kids are competitive. Like, they're competitive. So no, they wouldn't want anything in there that their kids or their friends' kids would have to draw. So this is not something that a contractor just doesn't care, okay? This is simply a logistics issue, and the change has to come at the top. So, like I said, if it's something that concerns you, the answer would just be to catch your director while you're at the finals, or make a phone call before the midwinter meeting, because like I said, it's a midwinter meeting deal, and just let them know that you support the proposition to bring a third as many goats rather than half as many. So sorry this ended up kind of long. There was a lot of stuff to cover, but I hope this explains a little more in detail what is going on with the national finals. And if I can help you in any way, or you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can email me, nlgtclinics@gmail.com. I'm working to try to make things better for the kids at kind of all the levels. Arena situation got fixed. We're in the same arena, but the stake is now in the middle of the alleyway. I hope that bringing attention to that causes that to never happen again. After this year, we go back to Des Moines. I'm fairly sure we'll be in that same little tiny building. I addressed the alleyway issues that we had when we were in Des Moines the last time, so hopefully I'll remind them of that as we get closer, and we can make that a little bit safer. And then after that, it's Guthrie for 10 years. And so Lazy E is a fantastic facility, and hopefully we have a little bit of time to make sure that things are really great for the goat tires. No one is more tired than me of seeing these kids not get the finals they deserve. I promise you that. No one is. So I'm working, trying to fix it. Sometimes, unfortunately, things just take a little bit of time, and finding out who the right people are to address the issue. And I think that there are some changes coming to where we will have people that are interested in making this a great finals for our goat tires, because I could, like, y'all think these goats are bad, and maybe it's because I've seen some of the just absolute junk that's been there over the years, but when finals were in Gallup, those of you that are older remember going to Gallup, and you saw the goats that they would bring from there could eat the goats that are in Perry right now, and would, and they were mean, and they were rank. And I think, I don't, did they tie sevens? I barely remember. I thought if you were like 8, it was great. But we've gotten to high school finals before and had half of the pen banded. where they were nasty, rotten, smelly, smell like death. So half the pen was banded, and when you scooped them, they were sore and went to screaming, and the girls stunk. And so that was when I did write a letter that year, and I sent it to every single director right before the midwinter meeting. And so now at least they cannot bring banded goats to the high school and junior high finals. So yeah, there's been some bad ones over the years. But like I said, the only way that change happens is at the top, and it's at the directors, and it's less goats or significantly more compensation. Because guys, no one wants this contract. I don't think y'all understand. Like, nobody wants this contract. There's no way to make money at this deal. And so, just something to kind of think about. Would you do it? Would you handle 300 plus head of goats for over a month and get those broken in to lose money? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. So, like I said, if you have questions, let me know. But the contractors are doing what they can with what they're given. But I hope you guys have a great day. Hope to see everybody at Perry. And again, sorry this got so long, but it's something that I am passionate about, and making it better is something that I am truly passionate about. So if there's any way I can help you do that, or if I can answer any questions, or if you're a director and you want to talk about it, let me know. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.